And it's several days since the Capitol building was breached, but the incident's repercussions are still ongoing. NTD's Tran spoke with a philosophy expert about what the riot and its aftermath could reveal about American society.
The Capitol riot has been described by certain politicians as a day that will forever remain in infamy. On that day, a group of rioters attacked law enforcement and breached the U.S. Capitol building. Over 100 people have been identified and several dozen have been charged. Philosopher and writer Dr. Benedict Beckold said he's glad to see justice being served, but that there are others who also deserve blame.
Last summer, not just the summer, in the spring, summer, and fall, really, for months and months on end, all the violence that took place through Antifa and BLM all over the country, a lot of the Democrats went out of their way to sort of relativize that violence and to excuse that violence, including the incoming president and vice president, it's worth pointing out. And so if it becomes part of the national discourse that such violence is acceptable, if a big part of the country excuses such violence, then we shouldn't be surprised that the other side then also finally becomes violent itself. Now, that's not to excuse what those people did. As I said previously, those people should be prosecuted and they should be publicly condemned. But simply as a matter of cause and effect, it's obvious that if we condone violence on one side, the other side will then also slowly start to think, well, so then we're going to be violent too, because apparently violence is okay, which of course it's not.
Dr. Beckold also said that President Trump's response to the violence went in the right direction, but he should have been quicker and more forceful. He said if Trump were to be convicted following impeachment, then many other officials should be held to the same standard. In regards to certain Congress members, he said it was disturbing that they condemned the Capitol riots, but failed to condemn groups like BLM and Antifa when they attacked and terrorized American communities.
There were some part, of course, of our some of our legislators who reacted very strongly against that, but many of them, as I mentioned previously, were relativizing it, were excusing it. Now, all of a sudden, when it is the legislators themselves who are cowering in fear in their offices or in their workplace, now all of a sudden it's very serious. And so that sort of shows how anti-democratic many of these people are, much of our leadership is in their mentality, because they will only react very strongly when it's happening to them, not when it's happening to the citizens around the country that they are meant to serve.
Dr. Beckold said that in the long term, he believes there could be more violence, as a Democrat-controlled federal government will overreach its power over conservatives who will feel marginalized. He hopes it doesn't happen and suggests that both political sides take each other more seriously to prevent further violence. Tran, NTD News.